I am Bibi Ofiri. I'm here to just talk to us about how you as busy professionals, because I heard that you are in the pharmaceutical industry, and there's one thing you don't have enough of is the time. Truth be told, this is the first time I am talking about this in a Nigerian setting. And I've been looking for the opportunity to spread the word, because these are things that we need to do in order for us to become financially free. Your W-2 cannot get you to financial freedom, period. Before I continue, I want to give us a little statistics about the wealth gap in the industry. Now, if you look at what I have here, you see white versus black. White households have a median wealth of $188,000 in 2019, nearly 8 times higher than the black households. White versus Hispanic. The Hispanic household median wealth has $36,000, whereas white versus Asian. Asian is the only community that is surpassing the white community. The inheritance, 27% of white families receive an inheritance compared to 8% of black families, with higher average amount for white families. How many of us believe that if we pass on today, our children will never suffer? Let me give you my background before I continue. My parents were missionaries. They left Nigeria about 32 years ago. They came into the US and they tried getting us here. They couldn't. So they were stranded here for a long time. And my dad, he had a church, a big church in California, and he was able to get 3 houses, but he passed on 2009. And when he passed on 2009, my mom, typical housewife, she had no clue about how to manage homes, and she lost 2. So fortunately for me, I came down with my big tummy. I came to deliver, and that was it, because I was already in real estate in Nigeria. I was managing properties, malls in Lekki. I was in Banana Island managing many of the homes and all that. So I had about 120 workers and 8 staff. Things were going all right. But because of the experience I had with my first baby, I said, no way, I wasn't going to do that the second time in Nigeria. So I came here to deliver, and the idea was go back 3 weeks after. But guess what? Things changed. I got here, my daughter almost died. She had 50-50 chances of living. I couldn't leave because she was in the ICU for a long time. And my mom, she didn't tell us after my dad died that she went into depression. We didn't know. And somehow those 2 houses were lost. I got to find out when I came here. The remaining one, 2 weeks to my delivery, a sheriff came to the house and gave me a letter. I opened it, foreclosure. The house we were staying. So invariably, we're down to ground zero. Nothing. And I had no clue how to do real estate in the US. That was the beginning of my 360 turnaround. I couldn't go back. My visa expired. I decided to stay back. And my daughter was still sick. We were asked to leave. They gave us $5,000 to leave. We didn't have anywhere to go. We went to the church to sleep. We were in the church for 2 years. We were homeless for 2 years. And in those times, I said, as Nigerians, we like education. I decided to go do my master's. Regardless, I did 3 jobs, menial jobs, looking for the best way to go. I did IT in cybersecurity and all that. When I was about finishing, I met this young man here, and I went there to do a security job. But I saw the opportunity in his office. He didn't have a secretary. And I said, I'm very good. I have so many qualifications. But if that's the opportunity you have in your office, I want to be there. And that was how I became his secretary. And in that process, I realized he had a lot of money, and I wasn't going to allow that pass. And I asked him, what's your plan? And he said, I want to do this, do that. I said, have you considered doing real estate? And he said, no, that he did it once and he was duped. And that's what so many of us have experienced. Some of us have been into it. We've been duped. We've not achieved that kind of returns they promised us. So we've lost hope. It took me 1 year to get him to change his mind. And why did he change his mind? It was because of his taxes. They slammed him with about $700,000 to $1 million tax. And he said, Bibi, what way can you help me that will be able to reduce our tax? I said, the only solution is through real estate. And that is the only way you can cut down on your taxes. You earn a lot, but the government will not allow you to enjoy it. But real estate is one of the very beautiful ways you can turn your life around. He decided to just trust in me. He gave me about $4 million and he said, let's do this. He didn't know me from anywhere and all that. He trusted me with it. And guess what? Ask him is here. That money has 10 times its value. And that was how I started. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I had nothing. I started from ground zero. If not because of him, it would have been a lot more difficult. You are busy professionals, you earn some kind of good money. You have that leverage I never had. And I believe you can do 10 times what I've achieved. So who am I? I'll first of all tell you who I'm not. I am not an accountant. I am not an investor advisor. I am also not a lawyer. I am not a broker or an agent. I am a multifamily investor. Over a few years, I've flipped about 24 homes, and I've also been involved in 1,027 units. I've gone 2 full circles in multifamily. I operate 64 million in asset management, and I'm involved in about 180 million worth of assets. 12 plus years experience in underwriting, acquisition, and asset management. I'm a mentor and a coach in Multifamily Freedom Chasers community, where I train people how to do this. I'm part of the Michael Blank's mastermind, and I co-authored 2 books, Balanced Life, Family, Faith, and Singing. Without God, truly, I cannot do all these things. Most of the ways I'm able to achieve this are on these 2 nails. So I always like to give God that reference as it is. The purpose of this presentation is to define what personal freedom means to everyone. I always tell people there's no one way. Multifamily is just one way to become financially free. I've seen people saying they just want to do single family. That means buy one house 1 year, buy another one 1 year, and all that. It's just like you achieving your goal. If your goal is, I want to get to Australia within 24 hours, I can decide to get there in 1 year. I can decide to get there by flying. I can decide to get there by driving. I can decide to get there by going through the boat. It just depends on your preference or what you prefer. If you feel your financial freedom number is, I want to just achieve $10,000 every month. $10,000 every month times 12, that's 120. If that is your comfort amount, then single family should be your choice. But if you know that that is too small for you, then you should look beyond that. Personally, I don't do single family anymore. And the reason is just because it's a slow process. I'll get to my destination, but it takes me longer time. And that is why multifamily is just the key. And I'm here to tell you how that can happen. I'm also here to educate you how passive investing can help you while you're still busy doing your job. You can decide to still continue your W2 and be earning a lot of money. And I will show you how to do that today. And also how we've been able to reduce our taxes from almost $1 million to almost nothing. And that was through multifamily. It's a very, very important part for you. If you earn so much, you pay so much. If you structure it very well, you can be able to reduce your taxes almost to nothing. If you were suddenly to lose everything today, what would be your next step? And I'm saying this because it happened to me. It happened to my family. If you were to lose your job today and there's no way out for you, what will your next step do? I think we need to start thinking about that. We all have children, right? If we go now, what legacy are we leaving for them? What is that thing that we are leaving for them to continue on? That is the question some of us have not been able to answer. We are working so hard, going to work every day. I was talking to you and you said you were just at work. And truth be told, you can't do this for the next 30 years of your life. You get tired. That's where the problem is. And that's why we need to start figuring things out. This is going to be an engaging part. We have the employee. Some of us have seen this contract from Robert Kiyosaki. We've read Rich Dad Poor Dad. You see that. How many of us are employee here only? Can you just raise up your hand? Thank you very much. How many of us are self-employed? The 1099 people. Yeah. How many of us are business owners? Right. How many of us are strictly investors? Okay. I think we're just 2. Okay, good. So my purpose here is to move you to I, which are investors, because that is where you want to be over time, and you can start now. Multifamily real estate allows you to operate in investors' quadrant, where your money works for you passively through income stream. And so people don't understand how that works. So let me explain what multifamily real estate is. Multifamily real estate is just a group of properties all in one location, and you're managing it. That's it. It's that simple. But there are 2 ways you can run multifamily: through syndication or funds. What is a syndication? Syndication is I'm pulling funds from a group of people and we're all coming together to buy one property or more, depends. Whereas funds is we're also pulling money from a group of people, but it might not be just for multifamily, it might be for oil and gas, multifamily, any other investments, all can come out from the funds. So there are 2 different ways. So, but I do syndication and we'll soon start funds soon. So for multifamily, how syndication works is you have the general partners and you have the the limited partners. The general partners are the people that get the deal, do the due diligence on it and put it under contract and operate it after they've closed and all that. Whereas the limited investors are typically the passive ones, they don't have much to do. They don't do the heavy lifting. All they do is invest their money and wait for returns. Sometimes those returns can come monthly, quarterly, annually, and all that. What are the benefits of multifamily? Why are people very keen about multifamily? One, because of cash flow. The cash flow is the profit after the income. You remove your expenses. After you've paid your debt, your mortgage, the remaining money is called cash flow. That cash flow is distributed among investors. The cash flow typically might not be so much. It depends on your profit, because after you've paid up your expenses, what is left? Some little money. It can be 50,000, 80,000, 100, 200,000, and you share it among your investors and all that. So that is the cash flow. One of the reasons why I like multifamily is because I can get money 4 times in it. One, the cash flow, which I just explained to you. The second one is through tax returns. So when we buy properties, we do something called cost segregation. So we call a cost segregation specialist to do a study on the property and bonus depreciation. How that one works is that you can do a study, the cost segregation on this property, and depreciate it to like 5 years, and you can take them all in 1 year. Last year I did for just 2 properties, and we got more than $1 million in just K1s, and those K1s are literally money that I can use to write up taxes. So it means that last year, 2023, 0 tax, because I have a lot of K1s to write them any of my expenses up. So that is the beautiful thing about it. Right now it's at 60%. CPAs have sent us all messages that we should defer our taxes for 2024. That means we have more tax returns to take home. And this is where you want to be. But guess what? Let me put a caveat on it. W-2s, if you are earning below, 150, you can take advantage to a certain level. But if you are earning above that, then you might need to restructure your family. And that's what multifamily helps you to do. You can restructure your family to ensure you take advantage of it. For people that are in the 1099 category, you can do that. You can use your 1099 and split your time, as long as you can prove to the IRS that you have about 750 hours in real estate. You can write off your taxes with it. So it's a very, very interesting. It's just for you to know it. Once you know this thing, your life will be sweet. I can tell you that for a fact. I hear things like, I don't have the money, or I'm looking for interest rate to drop, or I've not seen any property to buy, or I don't even know the right team to join or who to invest with, or I don't have 50,000 to invest on anything. I have IRA, but I don't know how to invest. If you're one of those people in those category, you are just in the right place. In Blue Ocean Equity, what we do is we properly educate our investors. We believe that if you have the right knowledge or the right idea about investing, you'll be informed and you take the right decision. So our approach to investing is education first. We want you to understand fully what multifamily is. What are the upside and the downsides? Because every investment has its own risk. Our idea is to open you up to everything that has to do with the risk and the opportunities and how we've been able to strive in such markets. If you're looking for better ways or more information or any information on how to make such decision on investing in multifamily, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Blue Ocean Multifamily Group, or on our Facebook, which is Blue Ocean Multifamily Group. Or you can also book a call and reach out to us and say, I need to know more about multifamily. We have just the right content for you. I look forward to seeing you. The next thing is you are able to get appreciation. The thing about why I prefer multifamily to single family is because single family is based on comparables. How many of you are into single family? You've done 1 or 2 single families. Okay, good. Single family, you know that is the value of the area. That's what will determine yours. So if your house, let it be whatever is the comparable in that area, that is the value of your property. That is that simple. But multifamily doesn't work that way. Multifamily is based on your operations. If your net operating income, what is net operating income? Net operating income is my income minus my expenses. What is left is my net operating income. If I'm able to increase my income, and reduce my expenses, that will increase my NOI. And anything I do to increase my net operating income increases the value of my property. It's that simple. So the more I increase the value of my property, the more that property becomes something else. So I can decide to buy a property for 13 million and increase the net operating income. And in just 3 years, the worth of that property can be 30 million. And I'll refinance and pull out my equity. And that is infinity. That means I've removed the entire equity I put in already, and I'm just slipping it out, eating money. That is the beautiful thing about multifamily. You can't get this with single family. You cannot. Some of you will say, yes, I can refinance my property. But guess what? For cash flow, one of the houses we used for single family that we bought earlier on, I was collecting the rent of $58,000, and the tenant left, and we went there to renovate the house. We ended up spending 20-something thousand, and our mortgage was $56,000. So that means every month we're gaining 200. After 1 year, we spent 20,000. Did it make sense? No, because all my profit plus more was used to renovate the property. But for multifamily, that does not happen, because when I'm buying a property, I'm making provision of my capex. Capex is capital expenditure. Anything I want to replace, like my roof, my AC, my all that, I'm having that money somewhere as a reserve. So in case anything happens, I will do that. And the property alone takes care of anything. Any expenses, my taxes, my insurance is from the rent. One rent cannot take care of all these things, really. But when you have multiple people paying you the same 800, you have, let's say, 40 units. Everybody is paying you 800 times 40. If you do your due diligence at the beginning, you buy it well, you should be able to pay your insurance, your taxes, everything, and still be profitable. That is the beautiful thing about it. So going back to what I was saying, your NOI compared to a single family is the comparables that will determine the value. But for multifamily, it is the net operating income, and you have the control of that. Meaning that if you are able to operate those properties very well, then you should be able to increase the value of your property. I've seen people buy properties for 40 million and they exit. When I mean exit, they refinance and they get 86 million. That means it has doubled. These things happen with multifamily every time. Besides, it gives you the opportunity to scale faster. So in multifamily syndication, we have active investors and passive investors. So my purpose here is to tell how busy professionals can become passive investors. But for some of you, I know some of you are like, I want to be active. I'm not doing so much. I have time and all that, because the whole purpose of financial freedom is time value of money. What is my time worth now? What is my money worth tomorrow? Those are questions you should be asking. Like some people, they'll tell you that I prefer my time. I don't know if you're going through this, but I went through it. When I came here, I was working 3 jobs because, the hustling mentality. I want to get all the money and all that. But after a while, I started toning it down. I was like, nah. I want to rest a little. I will do only 1 or 2 jobs. That is because now some other things are taking priority. So as we keep growing, we want to have more time for ourselves, to travel around the world, to be with our families. We can't be doing the same thing we're doing 40 years ago. We're doing them right now. So that is where this financial freedom starts to make sense, that I think I prefer my time more than money. And the only way for that to happen is through passive investment. We have the active investors and the passive investors. The active investors, like I said, are the people that operate this property on a regular basis. And that's what I do. We buy these properties and we run them on a daily basis. It's a very busy task. And the purpose is that we have to perform. You need to give cash flows to your investors. One of the things we believe in Blue Ocean is cash flow first, before any other thing. Before we start thinking of appreciation. Those are the things we think of first. The next is why passive income matters for busy professionals. Challenges. Some of us, we don't have the time or the energy. After facing our W-2, where is the time to do other things? We don't have it. So this is where your money starts to work for you. So for us now, I'm in control of my time. I can decide to sleep throughout. Like on Friday, I slept all through because I control my time. I'm not a W-2 earner. Limited opportunities for active side investors. You have limited opportunities to do something else. Multifamily is that tedious that you might not be able to do both at the same time. The importance of of diversification, why you should do this as a busy professional is that your reliance on a single income is risky. I'm saying it once again. Your reliance on one income is very risky. You need to start thinking of diversification. And that diversification is through investment. Some of us are investing in stock, investing in Bitcoin. I've never succeeded in any of them. For me, it's quite simple because tomorrow Elon Musk can wake up and cough and the stock will go up. He will say something wrong, the stock will go down. We saw the stock going up. But what is controlling it? What is behind it? If something happens tomorrow, he goes down again. I don't want to be in that volatile kind of market that somebody will cough and my money is coming down. No, I don't want to do that. Bitcoin, we invested $20,000. We lost everything. I checked it. It's $600. I have the $600. So why will I want to do something that I cannot hold or touch? Multifamily real estate is something tangible, even at its lowest point. We saw deals falling apart last year, even this year. Some deals went this way in multifamily. But even at its lowest point, even when it's foreclosed, you still get K1 write-off to write off your expenses. That is how good it is. Even at its lowest point, you become profitable. But my purpose here is not for you to invest, your investment goes this way. No, that's not the purpose. My purpose is for you today is for you to invest and you keep investing and you be getting your returns, and before you know it, you can remove or stop working. That is the purpose of why we are talking about this today. Why this matters: minimal time commitment. This allows you to focus on your career while your investment works for you. So you can be doing your W2 and you're building your legacy, you're building your passive investment. Imagine you're investing in like 5 deals and each of those deals are paying you, let's say, $2,000 monthly. So 2,000 times 5 deals, that is, we're talking about $10,000. That is just cash flow. And at the end of the year, you're getting maybe another, from those 5 deals, maybe you're getting another $200,000 write-off. That's write-off. That is second opportunity. The third one is when they sell, let's say they are refinancing, they can give you back, like there's a deal we're doing right now. The deal is a 3 years out. That means in 3 years, we're going to refinance and the investors will still remain on the deal. And in that 3 years, we're giving you back your initial money, right? You're taking it back, but you still be on the deal and you still be getting cash flow. When we decide to sell, you get a large chunk of money again. That's real estate. It's very, very interesting. There's a lot of money. There's an opportunity there. I only have 2 Nigerians in all my investments. And it pains me. I'm like, my Nigerian people have money, but they don't have trust, or they don't even know how to do it. Until we get to that level of coming together, we can't achieve anything. These people are doing well, and we need to start thinking on how we can all do this thing together and succeed. They are way, way ahead of us, but we have the resources, we have the education. We are one of the most educated people in the world, but still, you can't say we are the richest. No, we are not. Why this matters? Steady income. While you are making your W2, you are still making money from somewhere else. That money can take care of your mortgage. We call it Maybox money. We call cash flow Maybox money. It can take care of one bill or another. No money is too much. Long-term wealth building. My children, I don't really want them to go through what I went through. That's what we want to start doing for our children, to start creating that generational wealth where every one of them can not just have the wealth, be knowledgeable, because you also want to educate them on financial literacy. It's for building long-term wealth and all that. How do you get started? I know this is a question some of you are asking. What do I do? Our approach to investing is education, because when we are communicating, we want to be sure that you understand the terms and you understand the risk, because there's no investment that does not come with its own risk. We want to be sure that you understand it. So for us, it's education first. You have to start with education. And the next thing is find a reputable operator or sponsor. On my flyer, there's a scan me link. You go there, you see our group, you know who we are, or the things we've done, and you can go there and find out and even do your due diligence, who we are and all that. My purpose is to ensure that we as a community, we all grow together. Perform due diligence on deals. That is why the educational part is important. You don't want to also get a deal and just say, okay, take my $50,000 or my $100,000. You want to do your own surface level kind of due diligence to find out, I hope I will not lose my money. And the due diligence is on the people bringing the deal to you. First of all, the underwriting on the deal, you're asking them questions like, what are your projections like? Why do you think you can increase the rent from 600 to 800? Why? Is the market telling you that? These are questions that you should be asking. But if you're not educated, how would you know the question to ask? You will not even know. You can't even ask because you don't know what to even ask. That's why some of us have lost money. Last 2 years, when we were losing money, we were making money, and investors were asking us how. We said because we followed the fundamentals of investing. If you follow the fundamentals of investing, even when the economy goes like this and that, you should be able to weather it out. Invest cautiously. While you're investing, you're asking questions. You also want to be sure. Why? Because this money is your unearned money. You don't also want to allow it go. Receive regular distributions. That is the idea. So if you're investing and they're not giving you distributions, you need to start asking questions. Why? Why am I not receiving my money? And all that. They exit the deal. When they exit the deal, they will definitely give you back your initial investment. Then diversify your portfolio over time. So you can do multifamily, do storage, do oil and gas. As time goes on, you start diversifying. One, it's just a better way of investing to be safe. In case something is happening in the real estate market or in the residential market, you know you are safe with the storage. If something is happening in the storage, oil and gas, you know is there and all that. So over time, you just need to diversify. In summary, the key takeaway is, why is multifamily a reliable way to build wealth passively? It has proven time and time again. And every wealthy person in the world or in America is into one form of real estate or the other and all that. Passive investing allows you to earn income with minimal time involvement. You will not be the one chasing after the property manager. And that's one thing the single family will not allow you to do. You'll be managing it yourself because you cannot afford to get a property manager because you cannot pay the property manager. With multifamily, you can do what you're doing and your money will be working for you. It's an ideal option for busy professionals seeking financial freedom. Call to action. You need to take the next step in investing passively right now. Like I said, for those of you that were there at the beginning, I started from zero, nothing, and I'm able to get here. Not to talk of you that at least have something. Then you should imagine where that will lead you to. And nothing stops you from being active if you know that I can become active. I think I can do this with my W2. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. And you can also say, I don't think I have time. Let me become a passive investor. Thank you. Thank you.